call to order the Board of Finance meeting for February the 23rd to order. First item on the agenda should be the appointment, voting in of an alternate.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll appoint, I'll nominate Connor Duffy.
Second.
All those in favor, discussion? Aye. Thank you. The approval of the minutes for February 3rd.
You're going to have public participation?
Well, I don't see the public. I kind of just jumped, if not here, I might as well just keep going.
Wait a minute, you might have somebody here.
No, he doesn't.
Just
What would you like? Is that public participation?
Yeah.
Why don't you sit up front so we can see your charming face?
You got it.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Garza was in there, I was in there looking in that empty jar in your room. But anyway, I just...
Where'd you go get him?
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Eric.
Okay, so we got the minutes of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Quarterly reports, none. Thank you. Finance Director's report? Anything you'd like to say in lieu of?
Now, I'll hold you.
Hold judgment? Good, thank you. Anybody else want to, or just me spin right off and just do this?
Don't touch that.
Okay, keep
Not
going.
gonna touch that at all.
Okay, unfinished business, water pipeline relining and restoration project updates. I see the report to the Board of Finance with the projects. Is that?
I think I'm going to start providing that to you in advance.
Yeah, it's good not to read it right, you're sitting here.
Yeah, I know. Well, normally I just go through these things, but there's so many projects now, I figured I better start writing it down.
It'd be like the Board of Ed.
So anyways, we've made great progress. I'll just take them in line here. The Quinebaug Regional Tech Park, the bridge award was made to Tully Construction for 4.8. That was under actually the estimated cost for construction, so we're doing well there. The construction has begun, as you probably have seen, down there on Canadian Drive, but right now the project's shut down for the winter. The West Road portion of the contract was awarded to Gerber Construction for $900,000. The base bid was about $880,000, and they added, there was an add alternate, I forget what that was for. Probably, I don't remember if that was for the gas line. Anyways, they're ready to begin this spring. The sewer lift station should go out to bid within 30 days, and then the water line installation.
Is that just for one lift station up here?
That's just where the tech park was.
Tech park, okay, gotcha.
I'll get to the other ones later on. Water line installation is, we have decided to take that out of the Quinebaug Regional Tech Park and put this under Beta's, what is being called Beta's Contract 2, which is approximately 40,000 linear feet of water relining and replacement that is going out to bid probably in March. And in order for us to probably get better prices, we figured that would be easier just to incorporate the Tech Park water line under that contract. And they're aware of the timing of it, and that will be one of the first things that would be done once Contract 2 is awarded, so they can get the water line down to that, because the YMCA is going to need water to cure their pools pretty soon after they get going on their construction activities. And as I say, we are coordinating our activities with the construction of the regional YMCA. One good thing is that Gerber Construction is also the site contractor for YMCA, so it makes it really nice to have that kind of coordination going on for the construction between the town and the YMCA. Water line replacement and relining, Contract 1 has been awarded for $2.9 million to Alvin East D&S Inc., and construction will begin this spring. This is the first contract of the total $15 million water line and replacement and relining that has been approved by the town. And this contract will cover primarily two areas. It's the Groveland, Thompson Avenue, Bates Avenue area, and then the Wilkinson, Bellevue, Prospect Oak Street area. And again, it's mainly going to be cover cleaning and cement lining of existing water pipes in those areas. Plus, they'll be doing certain things in terms of replacing, what do they call those things, valves and
Into the house.
into the house, and also they'll be looping areas where their lines have been dead-ended. Contract 2, we finally got the authorization from the state and the USDA for the engineering firm to start devising the specs for contract 2, and we should go out to bid on the major project, the $15 million project with 40,000 linear feet sometime in March. And again, work is expected to begin on those either late spring or early summer. The sewer lift stations, these are the 10 existing lift stations that we have in town serving our sewer needs, and that bid has been awarded to Associated Construction in the amount of $2.9 million. We're really tight. The full contract price, not the full appropriation for the lift station was $4 million, as you might recall. So we're going to be really tight on this project. We hope we've left enough in contingency to take into account anything that might come up during construction of those lift stations. But right now we're moving ahead with the project, and they're not going to do all 10 at one time. They're going to do a couple of stations. So when we get to the end, we're going to know if we're in good shape in terms of how we meet, not going over the $4 million appropriation. The other thing under WPCA is the manganese iron treatment building. This was a $2 million appropriation, and requests for qualifications are advertised, and they are due back into town for review on March 5th. This is a request for qualifications. We're doing a design build process. It's a little bit different than just going out with the design and then bidding the project. This is where it's more of a collaboration between the design firm and the construction firm, and so we're going to try it on the manganese iron treatment building. And the first thing we'll do is, once we have a number of firms that have expressed interest, we'll get proposals from those firms, and then we'll probably do a short list in terms of based on their qualifications to go forward with selecting a firm to do the design and the build for that building. And then finally, the Putnam High School project. All the building construction trades have been awarded. There are about 23 to 24 trades that they sought bids on, and we now have a guaranteed maximum price totaling $26 million, a little bit over $26 million for the construction cost. The construction manager reimbursable is about 1.7, and a contingency of 1.1, and then all the fees and various things associated with the construction manager of about $500,000. So the guaranteed maximum price is a little bit over $30 million. And then with the owner's cost, we're going to be within the town's appropriation. So a lot of the additional $6 million are the owner's costs, the town of Putnam's costs, and that also covers the contingency. So we're well within the town's appropriation as we move forward on the high school project. I'll be glad to answer any questions on the project. And if I might, do you have time for one other additional bit of information?
The floor is yours, as is approved.
We just received the fourth quarter tonnage report from Wheelabrator, and the 2014 receipts were approximately 582,000 tons, which is the largest year ever. The 2013 total was approximately 516,000 tons, and that was previously the largest year for the ash landfill.
So this was the last year?
This is 2014. We do it on a calendar year.
582 tons.
For 582,000 tons.
Yeah.
This increase was due to several issues. First, the receipt of ash from Westchester, New York. This is a large resource recovery facility, approximately 2,250 tons per day, similar in size to the Bridgeport resource recovery facility. And they were quite regular in delivering their ash waste to us from October through December 2014. Second, the 2014 contribution from the Hartford plant was about 28,000 tons more than 2013, indicating that less Hartford ash was shipped to the Shrewsbury landfill. And third, now we're getting ash from the Plainfield Wood Waste to Energy plant, which began operation in December 2013, and they delivered about 6,000 tons in 2014. And lastly, there was about 12,000 more tons of coal ash received in 2014 than 2013. And as you may recall, the coal ash is at a higher premium than the regular ash. So the rough estimate for Putnam's 2014 host community fees is $4 million. It may be larger due to Willowbury's capping of a portion of landfill last fall. So a very banner year in terms of our receipt of ash.
Okay. How about the needs assessment?
Needs assessment, basically, we know what our needs are. We have tried to accommodate that through your provision for allowing us to give additional overtime to our staff to help them to get caught up and to move forward. The other thing that we have done is in terms of now that we have basically, as you know from your draft audit, basic financial statement audit for the year ending June 30th, we have brought in Mahoney and Sable to start us on the process of doing the reconciliation for the current fiscal year, so we don't get behind on that and to keep on track of that. What they'll be doing is basically they'll be doing the reconciliation, but in order to keep it an arm's length, because they're also our auditors, we will be doing the posting of any of the information that they generate. So based on the needs assessment, that's what we determined would be the approach at this time to take in terms of trying to get first of all, we finished off the fiscal year of 2014, and that was with the help of Paul Lajeunesse, working with us from Florida, and then going forward, we hired Mahoney and Sable to help us with the reconciliation, and also to give additional time to our staff to fulfill their jobs, whether it's purchase orders, whether it's regular accounts payable, whether it's any of the reconciliations we have to do, or the accounts receivable. We're going to monitor that and see if that's going to be enough to be able to get us, first of all, caught up, and then to move forward in terms of keeping us on track to keep caught up with the financial records.
What's the projected cost of that?
Up to $15,000 for Mahoney Sable, 40 hour, additional 5 hours per week for 3 staff.
No, just Mahoney and Sable.
It's about 15,000, up to 15,000. They're not going to spend it if they don't have to, but we put that at a cap of 15,000.
Are they going to make a regular pilgrimage to Putnam?
Yes. The other thing that we have now is because of Active Fund, they do have access to it through, just the internet. So.
And that's just for reconciliation?
Right. And the other thing we've done is we've put Eileen back on accounts receivable solely. So she doesn't have any other responsibilities. She's not going to be working with Delpha and Jackie in terms of the CDBG grants. She's just going to be doing what her expertise is in and what her experience has been to do the accounts receivable.
So she used to do that all the time?
She used to do that all the time.
More things changed, more they remain the same.
And the other thing, we've had discussions, and we have 2 individuals down in the WPCA that are very good at what they do in terms of their accounting for the WPCA. And we've had discussions with them about the possibility of doing some cross-training. We're not all going to be here for forever, and so we're going to bring them up. And again, it will be on basis of extra time, not during the time that they're working for the WPCA, because that would be appropriate. But if there's anything that we can do, and we've had discussions with Caroline about the possibility of where we might be able to bring them in to start the cross-training, so that if Caroline's gone, and Caroline does accumulate a lot of time, so when we really need her, which is at the end of the fiscal year, which is when she's got all this time accumulated, she has to take some time, or she loses it. That's some of the time that we would like to have Caroline around. So if we can have some people that can be cross-trained in terms of her job responsibilities, then hopefully we won't skip a beat when she's off on having to take her time rather than her having to lose it.
Couple of cross-training for the assistant treasurer.
Yes.
Yeah. Because she had a lot of vacation times.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I forgot her name already.
Eileen.
That's me.
Was that
Doug, much longer is Caroline going to work?
It all depends on how
She
much.
says good Right.
No, I'm just wondering because she's getting up in age.
So is Eileen.
2 years?
Two.
2 years, 2 weeks?
2 years? So now that we're, if we're forewarned, we can start.
10 months, a year and 10 months is the plan, but that also depends on,
2 years.
Ed? No, sorry.
depends on other financial situations that tend to arise in her household.
Okay, anything else? Nope.
I think that covers it, if that's all right.
Health facilities update. Study group.
Actually,
What?
do you want me to update?
Sure.
Reports on that.
I don't know, but it's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda, right?
The last item that the group had tackled is on last Friday. No, last Wednesday. They took a tour of Belden Mill, and I was amazed at how spacious it is. And they were looking at that as a potential for the library because Delta had gotten some grants, $50,000 for feasibility and $300,000 for remodeling inside.
50,000 for pre-planning and to put it on the National Register. The 300,000 was for hazardous materials assessment and building conditions study, and to do some pro forma work as to best utilization for the property.
It's incredibly beautiful. There's entrances that are just, it's a gem. There's also where, without taking down a piece of the mill, there's 60 parking spots in the back already that you can't. There's a very small driveway between Powhatan Street and the right-hand side of the mill if you're facing the mill, and there's a parking lot
I never knew that.
back. No, me either.
That's with taking down the other.
Yes, and then what was it, 74 spaces with taking down the mill?
Yeah.
Total that we took down a piece of, so their next meeting is Thursday.
Maybe a great place, but
It's not-
traffic there is just, how you make a left going across and you're coming up the road, it's very tough to do. Especially if you're going down that's, whatever it is, next to Powhatan Street. If you make a left going across during the middle of the day, just not gonna happen. You get 2 rows of traffic going down there. So, it's all right if you're not having a 10-year-old. I guess it's their problem, right?
Right.
Okay. Is anybody on that from the library board?
Yes,
Yes.
2 people.
Who?
George Tangiers and Linda Garcia.
Okay. Anything else with that? Once, twice, thrice. Okay, new business. Audit report. Ooh, thick document.
You want to turn to page 3?
Page what?
Page 3,
Page
the
3?
financial highlights.
Well, I was gonna save a lot of money if we just did page
Yeah.
3, just in paper.
Mike's not coming?
Mike's not coming.
I thought we were having
I'm sorry, I thought he was, that's fine.
This part of the, as you can see, the financial statements is complete. There's only 2 things a little bit outstanding. One is our municipal solid waste landfill post-closure liability. I got the statement today from our engineering firm that works with us on the landfill, and so that will be incorporated into the next draft. As you know, we have an extension to complete the audit by the end of this month. So for all intents and purposes, the audit is done. We are still missing the management discussion and analysis. Mike from Mahoney Sable was working on that today. We should have that before the end of the week. So
You're talking about the management report?
that's the manager report
Okay.
telling us,
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
yeah,
Anybody
it's not in
I thought it was
this.
gonna be in here.
It's not in this. They're
Thought it was gonna be in
they're
here.
still working on
Yeah,
that.
no, they're still working. That isn't part of it that I usually look for, the management report.
It's great expectations.
No, it's actually
You know,
telling you.
that's what we
where
find
the
out.
Shortfalls, shortcomings. So as you can see, the assets of the town exceed its liabilities, which is always a good thing, by $53.7 million. And that 12.1 million is unrestricted. 7 million is attributed to town's government activities, and 5.1 million that is attributed to the town's water and sewer activities. So on that standpoint, we're in good shape. The town's change in net position for the year amounted to 2.9 million, which consisted of an increase of 993,000, and also 993,000 relating to the government, town governmental activities, and an increase of 1.9 million relating to town business type activities, which is our water and sewer enterprise funds. At the close of the current fiscal year, the town's governmental funds reported combined ending fund balance of 10.1, and an increase of 111,000 in comparison to the prior year. And of course, but they may stay 23.1% or 2.3 million are considered unassigned and available for spending at town's discretion. And then at the end of the close of the current fiscal year, unassigned fund balance for the general fund was 3.9 million, or 16.2 of the total general fund expenditures. And that basically is the number that we use in terms of determining what kind of cushion we have in terms of, you wanted to maintain a 15%, so we're at 15%, and we have 1.2% more in terms of beyond that 15%. And as you can see, the long-term bond indebtedness increased by $5 million, and that was again attributed to the drinking water system improvements and also the improvements to the wastewater treatment plant. One other thing, if I can find it, if you don't mind, and I'm sorry to do this, the ash landfill account fund increased by almost $474,000, to where we have a total of now $5.1 million in that ash landfill account. But keep in mind that we have loans outstanding of, based on last fiscal year, 473,717. So those are the types of things that we allocate.
What's the loans against it?
Those are for the 5-year capital improvement plan. So that's the Quinebaug Regional Tech Park. That's the driveways we did for both the high school and the, no, not the high school, I'm sorry, the middle school and the elementary school. This year it includes the 500,000 for the sidewalks that the mayor put in last year. So financially, we're in good shape, and now that we know that, based on...
Speaking of good shapes and budgets and all those other good things, when is that happy thing?
You'll have that at your meeting in March.
Has it the budgets for the town going through whatever the process is?
We've just in the process now of gathering all the work papers from the department. It's being collated now, and there's some things that we have to put together on our side, but all the department heads basically have provided us with their budgets. We've been meeting with them on a regular basis. We're meeting with Willie tomorrow. We met with Delpha. We had a discussion with the building official. We probably should sit down with Jerry. So,
how are we doing so far?
we're going to be up. At least the mayor's budget's going to be up.
Well,
He chuckles.
If you don't put it in, no one can mow. They want to cut it.
We got the library budget already, so.
Do we know where we stand with the highway department so far this year?
I'm sorry, could you
We're going to be over.
yeah,
The
really?
highway department.
Yeah, we're going to be over.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think in other towns what they're doing right now is they already know that they're gonna be over, or they're gonna be short in certain areas.
Yeah, we know we're going to be short probably in the salt account. We're going to be probably short in the overtime account. So.
Well, okay, so, but what I'd like to see is, you know, how much are we gonna be short? I mean, are we there now? Have we
We are
reached-
there now.
That's what I'd like to, for somebody to be able to tell us. If not the mayor, you or Jerry, you know, getting that information to the chairman that,
Okay.
you know, our salt, we ran out of money. The overtime, we're out of money.
It'd be a snapshot as of that time, because as you know, we still have a winter, you know, a little bit of
But yes,
winter
as
to
of
go,
right now. I
It will
mean,
be a snapshot at that point,
Yeah.
so I'll get that to the chairman. Actually, I can send it out to all of you.
Another question, well, that pretty much takes care of that. There was an article in the bulletin think I read it Saturday or Sunday, or something about the drop in value of things. The business stayed pretty much, but property values perhaps
Very well.
dropped 4.3%.
We're down 4.3%.
Yeah.
That was basically, was that your article? I forgot who.
No, that was an article based on the assessor's presentation to the Board of Selectmen at the last meeting.
How are we doing with that, as far as that number, at 4.3%?
If we had to raise, I think what was it, was it 400,000?
400,000.
About 400,000 would have to be raised, if we kept the mill rate the same.
Yeah.
We'd have to find an additional
Still
400,000.
400,000 somewhere.
Right.
Actually, it's a pretty good number in comparison to all the towns in the area.
Well, the only reason it's a good number is because of the mix
Right. Well, your amount of commercial.
of the whole thing. 12, how much, 12 million for enterprise and these other things for, sometimes God smiles on you.
The condos took a hit, though, major hits.
Well, maybe the suggestion is what they were getting for it.
And,
But anyway.
that's this year, but,
Much about that.
good things,
$250,000 condo in Saving Street.
What's that?
good things in the future will be.
When you bought a $250,000
I
condo
don't
on
know if
Saving
we'll be-
Street, did you think it was,
300.
yeah, that was
Somewhere.
what
It will be on the rolls for October of
Did you think that was going to hold?
2015, but they are in the process of doing the interstate reliability project. And I think I said that was about a $3 to $5 million increase in the value for Eversource now instead of COMP. So that will be coming on the rolls soon. Yankee Gas, Eversource again is doing major improvements to their gas line infrastructure throughout town. So, and they pay taxes on that infrastructure. So that should be coming online too.
As the, Eversource, the power lines. Yeah, but-
Mhm.
I mean, we talked about that some time ago, how much
Yes.
taxable.
I want to say 5 million, but that might be a little bit high. 3 to 5, I think, is what we were told. So,
Okay. Anything else?
anything else?
Is that for Intersource, interstate
Yeah,
reliability?
that's the interstate reliability.
Okay, Economic Development Trust Fund.
I put a copy of the adopted ordinance, and it was adopted on April 2nd of 2014. I left it there because I think there are a couple new members who may not be familiar with it. I asked to be on the agenda this evening just as a heads up that I will be approaching the Board of Selectmen in the March meeting and the Board of Finance again in the March meeting to request $200,000 to be put into the Economic Development Trust Fund. And that money will come out of the sale of Lot 19-2, which was sold to Foster Corporation for their expansion. And they also have a right of first refusal on Lot 19-2. I think that property sold for $229,000. So this will be the purpose of the Economic Development Trust Fund, especially in the coming 2 years, or if the mayor has his way in 1 year, we'll be marketing those 4 lots in our technology park. So we're going to try and do it on our own, so we don't need to get a realty firm. We know that commercial realty firms do have head up on us, but I think with working with our Connecticut Economic Resource Center, we'll be able to make some headway with that. So you'll see in the budget too, we have increased my conferences line item. That's for me to go to some conventions and conferences to assist in marketing that. But we will need the tools set in place in order to market that tech park. And we also have another potential client for our industrial park here that's already built. I've been in conference with them for the last couple of weeks. So I'll make that formal request at the March meeting. I just wanted to give you
Well, you're gonna send in a plan though, right?
a plan
Yeah.
for it. For the marketing, sure, but the Economic Development Trust Fund is for a lot of other things other than just marketing.
But you're
So
gonna
that,
send in a plan for the 200.
absolutely, yeah.
She
I'm
needs
sorry,
a well,
that was 200 Delta?
she needs a well at the
200.
farmer's market. We're doing something for
Maybe
the,
20.
She personally needs a well?
excuse me,
She personally needs a well?
the farmer's market does.
Yeah.
That's for what purpose?
And it's cheaper to put a well in than, well, sometimes you have the wash areas down. It'll allow the marketers and vendors to do cooking demonstrations and that kind of thing, which you can't do per health department regulations. We have the dog park over there now.
I mean, is there a septics? I mean, how do you?
No, it's just, it's cost prohibitive to put in an extension to the water sewer line. Jerry gave us some quotes on
If
that.
you're gonna be washing and cooking and what have you, wouldn't it go somewhere other than on the ground?
As far as the runoff, well, most of it will be in bins because we don't have hand washing sinks and those kind of things. So farmers have special bins and it'll be basically a hose hookup.
You may have to check with the state, if you haven't already, on putting a well in. I know that people within the town. Huh?
I checked, and we have to be 200 feet from the closest hookup, which is Arch Street. It's about 400 feet.
Oh, okay.
And the estimate would be in the tens of thousands of dollars, where the well will be somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. So it's cost prohibitive to get under the
I
Kennedy
know
Drive.
that as a member of the WPCA, people have wanted to do that, and they were not able to.
I said the hookup
Fill
he's
their
talking
own
about
wells.
is astronomical. The hookup that Tony's talking about is
Yeah.
astronomical.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? And at 7:30 in the new record time,
Hmm.
any other business before us this evening that we should have a few comments about? Anybody want to talk about anything?
Let's start.
I'm sorry, I'll.
Go ahead.
No, okay. Did you bring up the fact that we're going to be in negotiations with NOW for the armory?
That was an
Oh,
organization.
yeah.
That was an
Read something about
organization.
that.
Northeast Opportunities for Wellness, it's a
Wellness.
nonprofit group. I always attribute, sort of compare them to
What do they do?
Nikon. They're more than Nikon. They provide basically sports types activities, physical fitness types activities for kids in the region.
Scholarships.
So, when soccer season, they play soccer. They do all sorts of things in terms of that. So they've approached the town that there will be basically a consortium of NOW, Nikon, which is the soccer group, WPPP,
Yeah,
which is
Little League.
football, and the Little League. And to basically come up with a proposal for joint use of the armory. And of course, our needs are is that we'd like to, if that's going to happen, we'd like to bring the recreation department down there. We're talking about the possibility of the veterans going down there and also the registrars going down there. And then we'd like to have is basically, if they're going to be, like in that gymnasium, what used to be the gymnasium, we have an opportunity to have some communal space then also for senior citizen activities, those types of things. They're looking at it from the standpoint of being able to have, for the Little League, being able to get, I don't know if they can do this during the winter, but get the kids in there, start doing batting, those types of things. Now, probably would like to have, all of them would probably like to have some office space. So hopefully this would be able to accommodate their office space needs. So I think it was a good marriage of all the various parties. It serves our needs in terms of what we would like to accomplish, to lessen the burden here in terms of everybody that we have crammed into the town hall. And from my understanding, a good portion of the cost will be picked up through these organizations. One of the other things that we're talking about is in fact, we're going out to bid request for proposals for engineering firms to do the engineering for removal of gravel from the Saving Street site. And the plan is to bring that to a certain level, and from the realizing the sale of gravel, we'd be able to put recreation fields on that parcel. So,
And to just further what Doug's saying, that now organization is prepared to raise over $100,000. So that's a big savings to the town.
Sign them up, Tom.
Yeah, and the only problem is, as I told them, it still will be under the umbrella of the town. We're not selling it, we're not renting. Willie Buskett will be down there with the best interest of the town at hand. So we just had they just threw a big shindig at the mansion in Woodstock, and wined and dined a lot of officials and a lot of area people, and it looks like it's going to be a good thing. The fellow's a professor. He's got 7 kids, young guy, needs a haircut. Beside that, everything is going forward, and it's a saving to the town. It's going to be something good for all the non-profit organizations. A place to store equipment, have indoor clinics, have conferences, blah, 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 and as well as use for the town.
What's his background?
Oh, jeez.
Like how-
Having
children?
kids.
Having
Jesus.
children?
Besides having 7 kids.
His name is Kevin O'Hara,
Yeah.
and he used to teach at Marianopolis. And his father had a business in Atlanta, Georgia, and he took over his father's business. And he was commuting for several years. His family lives in Woodstock. And now he's a professor somewhere.
Yeah, he's at either Eastern or UConn. I don't know where he is.
What is it?
O'Connell?
O'Hara.
O'Hara, O'Connell, Irish.
Keith O'Hara.
Like that.
and his wife.
Not like
What is this now? What is their mission statement again?
It's Northeast Opportunities for Wellness. It's pretty much scholarship based to students who can't do any when you have to pay for
Pay-
recreation.
Pay to play.
Pay to
No-
play.
No pay to play.
Whether it's for
Does Putnam
WTPT.
pay to
Well,
play now?
yeah, oh yeah. Well, WPTP is
On
pay to
rec
play.
boards, yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah, but
talking
this
about
is-
public schools.
No,
No.
not.
Yeah, this is not public
This is,
school.
yeah, this is after
sports.
school
This
and
is after
weekend.
school sports.
They have
Some
two
Nissan
staff.
Day.
They have 2 staff
We've got a
people on board.
YMCA coming in next year. It sounds a hell of a lot like that. What's the difference?
It's a little different. They're doing,
I think if
Well,
somebody had to
it's more-
pay for something at the YMCA, this
But
people,
the
these people
YMCA is also,
help them.
will not charge those.
But
it's a sliding
But
scale.
these,
of
these
YMCA.
organizations
But
already
these are full
exist.
scholarships.
And have existed for a long time.
No,
Nikon.
that's fine. Hey, I don't care. If he's gonna make, give us a
I mean,
$100
let-
grand, he can
just
sit
for the heck of
and
it, let's
stand
try
for it.
talking one at
It
a
just
time.
sounds like he's gonna make
The
the
problem, like with Little League and WPTC, Little Football, they have nowhere to go. They
Right.
have nowhere to store their equipment, nowhere to have
Oh.
organizational meetings, nowhere to bring the public in. So this might be the perfect spot for that. It'll be at least a use for the Armory. Oh, speaking of someone who should have been in the Army. So it's a good organization. And Joe, I want to go back a couple steps to Bob Garcel's statement about overage in the public work, which is going to happen.
Yep.
But we're still waiting for FEMA to, Governor Rowan is, Malloy is, way back.
Oh, my God.
Malloy's going to,
Blasphemy.
he's already put the request in, so we may get some money from that.
That's good.
So hopefully it'll balance out a little bit. We're not the only town, as you know.
Yes. It is what it is.
The executive committee for now is Keith O'Hara, president, Alan Ross, vice president, Julie Quinn, treasurer, Jessica Ross, secretary, Jeff Ross, chair fundraising, Joshua Longiaro, Longiaru, chairman of marketing, and Jack Burke, chair of scholarship.
they've been doing it for a
Yes.
while, because I
Yes.
didn't get, at my business, I get, requests for
They made a hell of a
donations.
presentation at the Board of Selectmen's meeting, passed out brochures, this and that.
It's not 100 grams, the Armory. If it's not illegal, let them do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just-
Right.
Yeah, it says here for wellness, for nutrition, for fitness, for sports,
And I got all of those.
It's all good.
all of the above.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Can I just add one thing to Connor's statement? This is for Northeast Connecticut too. It's not just for Putnam people. Like the Y, also Y will do, the swimming, the programming, the the fitness, you know, the health center, that kind of thing. This will be more for outdoor sports and nutritional based.
I was just curious.
Yeah. I think that'll, and if anything, they'll be working hand in hand.
Yes.
You got a date, Tony?
Yeah, I do.
What, are you going on a vacation?
Yes. I have to spread fucking throughout the lands.
Okay,
Same
motion
cards.
adjourned? Anybody?
Motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.